Hello, I am Ari with AiDANT. Welcome to a short demo featuring AiDANT Markers, a truly unique and versatile application for Axis cameras. AiDANT Markers runs 100% on the edge. The detection algorithm executes entirely inside the camera. No external servers to buy, maintain, or hide in a closet. No cloud streaming required, meaning zero recurring cloud bandwidth costs and absolute data privacy. The functionality includes the detection of the markers, which are not QR codes, and advanced logic to trigger events and report the marker IDs via MQTT. Let's see it in action. This is the user interface of the Markers application when it is installed inside the Axis camera. The first thing that we will need is a marker. We have two types of use cases. The simple use case is called AiDANT Markers Alert. We don't care about IDs in this case. The second use case is called AiDANT Markers Data. There, we consider the ID of the marker. For the simple use case, as we don't care about the ID, we press the button Get Marker File. By pressing this, you will get a marker with ID number 1. You will notice here it says 6x6. This is the name of the group of markers. There are separate groups 4x4, 5x5, 6x6. It's not the size, it's the name of the group. We recommend using 6x6. Once we print our marker, we're ready to use the application for a simple use case. For example, I have this piece of art on my desk. I want to know if the art is being stolen. I determine the detection area around the piece of art, and then I set the logic. Send alert when at least one markers are detected. We will send the alert 3 seconds after the condition occurs. It's not only at least. You could choose a logic of less than, exactly, or at least, and then you can determine the number of markers. So less than 5, exactly 7. It can also be exactly 0 if you want to know when there's no markers visible. After we do this and we save by pressing the green check mark, we're ready to go. Pretty simple. Let's now steal the art. The art has been stolen, the marker has been detected, and after 3 seconds, we send the alert. Very simple. Let's consider now another simple use case using AiDANT Markers Alert. Imagine a mining operation, and they have a pile of minerals. They want to know when the pile of minerals is too low. In this case, they place a few markers on the wall behind the minerals, and they want to know when too many markers are detected. In our case, it will be send an alert when at least 9 markers are detected. It is the simple use case. We don't care about the marker's ID. We just care about how many markers we're seeing. And we press save. So we can imagine that this is my pile of minerals. And as the pile of mineral goes down, we see more and more markers. At some point, we will see 9 markers. And in this case, we can send the alert that the pile is too low. There are many different use cases. The only limit is our own imagination. I want to show that the detection angle of the markers is very good. Here we can see that if I rotate the markers, even at a very acute angle, they will still be detected. Here we go. In order to find the range of detection for the markers, please refer to our user guide. But generally speaking, if you as a human can see the marker with your own eyes in the viewport of the camera, it will be detected. Once you download your marker file, there's many things you can do with it. For example, you can print it in plastic, or you can stamp them. Now that we understand the AiDANT Markers alert simple use case with no IDs, we can talk about AiDANT Markers data. AiDANT Markers data considers the ID of the marker that it's looking at. So to get such markers with different IDs, we will press this button that says Create Markers. Choose Dictionary 6x6, and then you can print different marker IDs up to 1,000 different identifiers. The application will detect the markers with their IDs and act accordingly. This means that you can trigger different events according to the marker ID that you're seeing. So for example, this is marker ID number 1. You can do something with marker ID number 1. The information flows out from the camera through the MQTT subscription. And you can see here we have this system called Axis Metadata Monitor. It is a tool made by Axis where we can see the metadata as it flows out from the camera. Any MQTT client can subscribe to these events and get information from this camera. The payload means the number of the marker. So here we see payload 1. If I cover this marker, then it will say empty because we're seeing no markers. I can also put more than one marker. For example, 1 and 2. In this case, the payload will be 1 and 2. All this information flows from our application through the camera to the outside world. So not only that you can trigger different events, but you can record this data in a database, or you can analyze this data with Power BI, etc., etc. Let's take a look at an example of what you could do with this. Behold the AiDANT Hotel. The AiDANT Hotel manager wants to monitor the operations of the hotel. He wants to record the important things that happens in the hotel, have a database and a dashboard that will help him with a better management of the operations. So what can he do? He can install a few cameras around the hotel, print a few markers, and connect them to an MQTT client. If they have their own MQTT client, they can use it. If not, we can provide a simple MQTT client also at no additional cost. So for example, the hotel manager wants to know how many times each room was used or how many times the doors were opened. So they can put markers inside the doors or outside the doors, it doesn't matter, according to the camera angle. And then they will see that the doors were opened. Then they can have a record of the utilization of the rooms. The receptionist at the hotel is afraid of robberies. So the receptionist has a marker behind this vase. If the vase is removed, the marker will trigger a silent alarm. Sometimes the picture of Churchill gets stolen. Well, by placing a marker behind the picture of Churchill, we will know when that happens. The swimming pool has no lifeguard. We want to know if someone deploys the life preserver. But we also want to know if the pool level is too low. So once the water goes down, we will see some markers, and the more markers that we see, the water level is lower. Additionally, there are limited parking spots. We want to know which ones are available. By placing markers somewhere in the parking spot, we can have an instant notification of which ones are available by using an MQTT client. Obviously, our hotel is just a simple example. You can apply this situation to your institution. Use your imagination. There are many things that can be done with our markers. Thank you for watching. If you wish to learn more, please visit AiDANT.ai.